Okay. Yeah. Was it, we also, the big news was that was in the news area, Gronk being in this. Oh my God.
Let me tell you something, man. Working with Gronk was so much fun. I mean, you know me. I've actually bought some football cards off of you in the past. You know, I'm a big football fan.
Yeah, that's what
Get,
I was
getting getting to work with Gronk was really just wild. It was awesome, and I love it because Gronk is as cool as you'd expect Gronk to be. You know, he was just such a nice guy. He really was dedicated to this part. Like that's kind of what I like to see. I mean, you know, you're always nervous, like, are people going to know their lines when they show up? Like, are you going to be prepared? But Gronk
Right.
was cool. He worked with me. We rehearsed on a Zoom session, and he was cool. He was like, listen, man, he's like, you're my coach. He's like, I want to get this thing perfect. He's like, so let's run it as many times as you need to. And it's
Right.
cool
Right.
to see that, you don't think of it, but it's like, well, athletes are like these super prepared people that are like used to practicing. They're used to getting things right.
Right.
So he's got that same mindset when he's on set. You know, he wants to be perfect, and he delivered. Man, he was really fun to work with.
I kind of expected that from Gronk because I've seen him around. Like, he definitely has that energy. Now, here's the thing that I wanted to throw out there. Uh, I was thinking, this is just me putting an idea out there, right?
Hit
But
me.
um, what if we had curling trading cards? Like,
Oh wow, wow, dude. Sometimes I think like you're just in my mind,
what if there was like, what if like we did curling trading cards for like this,
bro.
you know,
The
world?
roaring game, curling trade. Like if we had trading cards for the movie, that would be amazing. There's an artist. Have you ever heard of? I think it's Kyler Smith. He does like sports trading cards from movies. I gotta send you
Yeah,
the link.
I
You've
think
heard
I've
you've heard of that cat.
yeah. I've heard of him. I got to look more into him. But yeah, you send me the link. I'll dig
Yeah,
through.
he'll do like like John Candy from Cool Runnings and make like the trading card from the guy, or like famous
Right.
characters from sports movies. So like something like that with this movie would be awesome.
That would be sick, right? So I was just thinking about it. It dawned on me one day. I was like, wait a minute. Like I've always wanted my own trading card, but I don't really do a sport. I just am a sweet tooth guy. So
Well, now you could have one with Team Jamaica.
I know as a curler, which is pretty cool. So the other thing was so far with everything I've seen, right? Particularly in the movie when we were sitting there, we were talking and stuff, and might I add, um, so we covered Fivel, we covered Darren, we covered Mickey, but there was one guy in there particularly that's a legend to me at least, very very legendary. The dude, you had Finch. Is it Finch from American Pie? Is he in
Yeah.
this?
Eddie K. Thomas, man. Boy, like I had so much fun working with that guy. He is hilarious. And not just funny, like he's like smart funny. His ability to kind of like put words together in such a way and string them together and the way he delivers his dialogue, man, we had so much fun. He has this crazy handlebar mustache in the movie. He's playing a little bit of a kind of character who's got a little PTSD, so he's
Yeah,
not really playing with a full deck of cards at all times.
right,
So
right.
he got to have a lot of fun. I think fans of Eddie K. Thomas are really going to love what he does in this
I
movie.
think so too. And I just like I remember just seeing everything about it, and I didn't even realize I didn't at first when I saw it, I didn't realize it was him. I mean, I was like, wait. And then the acting, I was like, wait, this actor is delivering very familiar movements here. And then some of them were quite funny. But I immediately I said, wait a minute. And then they were like, oh no, American podcast. I said, oh, get out of here. So just the dynamic of having somebody, and this is what was cool. You've got, this frat guy, like frat energy, right? From Darren. You've got, the Gronk energy, right? And then you have the American Pie energy. With that cast, I think people are just gonna have a blast seeing this film for the comedic aspect of it, because you're taking very big moments and adding them in just a whole. It was great. Good chemistry. Also the review from a lot of the people when I was hanging out with them, I felt like they were like they kept telling me, they were like, this is so much fun, and they just wanted, a lot of people were saying, man, I just want to thank Tom for this
Aw.
opportunity.
Oh, that means a lot, man, because I'll tell you, I started off doing extra work. That was when I was like probably 18 years old, 17, 18. Any
Right.
chance I could, I was on set doing extra work. And I remember there was always this kind of nervous feeling on set. They were almost militant, some of the movie sets I came up on, and everyone was kind of cold and nobody really wanted to like look you in the eye, and they kind of treated you like, oh, you don't really matter unless you're the star of the show. And I've always wanted to, like, as I've come up and as I make movies, I've always wanted to make my movie sets a welcoming, kind of fun place to be where everybody feels like they mean something. You're not just some, I'll go sit over there in that tent. I try to at least like have some fun and say hi to people, and
Yeah,
because man, without even like, it's really true. It sounds cliche and it sounds like corny bullshit, but you really need every person from the background actors to the PA who's taking the trash out. Like every person on a movie set is so valuable, and I appreciate that. So it's nice to not have. It doesn't have to be so stuffy all the time, you know.
exactly. And that's what I noticed too, that when I was on set. So for me, it was like I already kind of got that energy from your personality. So to actually go to where you were working at for once, other than us hanging out and being like, okay, this is the job. This is the moment. You know what I mean? And I'm standing there. I mean, like I'll tell you a bit how I was before I came over there. So I got the call from you, and I'm like, Tom, he just hit me up. I'm gonna be in this movie. I gotta look cool and fresh. I'm in the mirror. I'm like waking up. My mom's like, how you been? I'm like, I'm doing a movie. She's like, I didn't even hear about a movie. What do you mean? I was asking if you wanted breakfast. I was like, yeah, but I'm in a movie. Like, so, my energy was so I was hanging out with my friends. They called me up. They're like, yo, what are you doing today? You want to chill? I'm like, bro, I'm in a movie. They're like, what happened to you?
No
I was like,
can do.
so I got a kick out of that. But what I will say was funny. When I was at the tent, the waiting area, I saw there was like a lot of high school kids. I noticed. I think they're
Yeah.
they're like extra or
We had a
something.
whole class come from my local high school, Cranston High School West. Shout out to Cranston West. They all came down, which was great.
There you go. And you want to know what was cool? I was listening to some of them. I was like kind of ear listening because they noticed me because when I came in, I had that actor energy. So
Sure.
I was like, I was
Well,
already
you have a personality that lights up a room. There's no denying it. Like people are like, "Oh, who's this guy?"
yeah. It was very funny. And I walked in, and I see like the kids are all looking. They're like, "Yo, I think that's like Jay-Z's cousin, bro. Like he must be like here." And I try to keep my face straight. And I heard them, and you know what was crazy? They were still kids having fun as if they were on a field trip, but they were having like the best time of their lives. And I remember being on other movie sets in the past and not seeing them give that energy. So to see these kids like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. They were ecstatic. They were just like, they didn't even have words. They were like, I'm in a movie. Like, this is sick. Like, I can't wait to text my friends. And I was just like, wow, like, this is bringing people together. This is what, and I think that was what I feel like is the magic behind the movie. I think it was the congealment of just a good group of people that are passionate about something they love. And I think that you nailed that. Like I really feel like you nailed it.
Well, hey man, and we're making a comedy, and I said that day one. When I was talking to everybody, I got we get the whole crew together. We give a little a little opening speech or so, and I know I keep it brief, but I was just like, hey, we're making a comedy. We're gonna get our work done. We're gonna work hard, but let's try to have a little fun because if we're having fun behind the camera, it's gonna translate in
Right.
front of the camera with everyone's personality. If our actors are in a shitty mood and then they go on screen, how are they going to be playful and fun? We got to everybody's got to be light, and then that's going to translate.
So if you could say something to like future directors that are watching right now or actors, like what would you say to a future director? Like somebody like what would you give like a tip on? Like what would you say like from what you've learned so far
I hate
from your journey?
excuses. Like excuses are the one thing. Like I'm a very friendly guy, but when people give me excuses, I lose my mind. And I feel like a lot of filmmakers make excuses for themselves as to why they're not where they want to be. why they
right,
haven't made the movies that they want to make. And I
right,
just think that if you're a young filmmaker or an old filmmaker, it doesn't matter. You gotta, the key part to being a filmmaker is making films, whether that's with your iPhone, whether that's
right,
with an old camera that you got on eBay and you were able to get for a couple bucks. But you got to be creating content. There's no excuse for you to not be telling stories with a camera every day. And that segues into what I want to talk about, my YouTube channel. You can check me out over at Tom Denucci Film. And I'm half kidding, and it's a plug, but I mean it. Like, if you're a young filmmaker, why aren't you on YouTube every day making little scenes, creating scenes, telling stories, getting your friends together? So I think that, it sounds simple, but it really is. Like, you just gotta tell stories every day. And like anything else, I mean, you don't just roll out of bed and get good at directing movies one day. Like, it's not that kind of thing. It's not like hitting a baseball. It's not like running really fast at track. It
right,
requires years and years of discipline and trying and failing and messing things up and figuring it out and
right,
developing a style and having an artistic flair so that
right,
when people watch your shit, they can say, oh, that kind of, that's got a style. That's got, he's consistent or she's consistent with what they do. So,
right,
find a style, stick to it, and just create every day.
right, right. Because I noticed that with a lot of, with a lot of people, it's even with me. They look at my channel, they go, I want to be an influencer. And I'm like, yeah, but you gotta want to work. You gotta get it done. It's a full-time job if you want it to be a full-time job. You don't go to your work and you treat it like it's fun to do, even though it is. You go there treating it as a job. Like even when I was there, as much as me and you goof off, as much as me and you have fun, I was like, we're gonna have fun, but after I get the work done. I am here to act. I am here to, work with you. That's what it was. It was, two working forces coming together.
Dude, you showed me a lot on that one, and I mean it. This isn't just a line. Like, we're gonna do something again, much cooler than that. Let me tell you, because you showed me something. You showed me two things. The two greatest things that you can have as an actor are obviously ability, which we all know you have. You just
Right,
got that. And reliability. It's the ability and the reliability. The fact that I know that if I ask you to do something, you're going to show up and I can count on you to be there with a great attitude, on time, willing to put the work in. That's it, man. Like, you and I are definitely going to mix it up again. That's a fact.
yeah, no, and it sounds good. Sounds like a plan. And I'm sure, as like it's all about dedication. And I got a lot of my drive just from striving to be an influencer because that was hard. Like I'm competing against everybody that
Yeah,
wants
by the
to be
way,
somebody.
dude, congratulations on 1 million followers.
So
Confetti,
thank
confetti,
you, thank
confetti.
you.
No, dude, I remember we were talking last summer and you were like, I'm so close. I'm getting there. You're like, I'm getting there. And like, you're like, I want to get 1 million. I want to get to 1 million. And bro, you set your mind to it. And here we are, like not even a
Yeah.
year later and you're there.
It was a hard road, and I'm thankful for everybody that helped me to do it, like including yourself. Because honestly, it was just like people just being a part of the repertoire, saying, hey, check this guy out, take a listen to him. We did an interview before that helped. That did. A lot of people were kind of they were shocked. They were like, yo, the Tom Denucci? I was like, bro, like he's the man, bro. He made Vault, bro. Like I don't know.
No, dude, you took off like a shot, and it's been really awesome to see that. It's been inspiring to me. And the one thing, again, like I guess I'm not trying to turn the interview around on you, but it's like you're consistent. You put out content all the time, and you provide a nice escape for people. Like I don't know about everybody else on the chat, but when I see your videos, they make me forget about whatever bullshit I'm dealing with for 10, 20 seconds, and I get a little smile, and I can move on with my day. And sometimes in life, that's a valuable thing, like
Yeah.
just a little smile over on the Sweet Tooth channel.
Yeah.